Hello, my name is Caroline Scheffey. I am a marketing major and a studio art minor, and I'm a first year at USF, and this is my Tableau data analysis video. Here you see we have our original data source, and we're going to move on to requirement 2AB. Here we see that the sum of sales of insurance in each state. New Jersey here has the highest at 1,145,344, and if we scroll down, we see that the lowest is Massachusetts, with the lowest at $802,239. Next, we're going to move on to requirement 2C, where we have the average amount of sales per state. Here you can see that New York, my bad, has the highest average sale at $828, while the lowest state, if you scroll down, is Connecticut, with $630. Next, we're going to move on to 2D, where you see the number of sales per state. Here we see that Maine has the highest at 1,399, and we scroll down again, and we see that Louisiana has the lowest at 1,230. And if we go back to requirement 2AB, where we have the sum of sales, we see that each state has made the $800,000 requirement. So all the states are good. Now we move on to requirement 3, where we see the rank in regions. The highest, clearly, is shown here is the Northeast, with over $9 million worth of sales. And at the lowest is the New England region, with a little over $5 million worth of sales. And now we're going to move on to requirement 4, where it shows the leading salesperson in each region. They're clearly listed here. The highest is Peter in the west, then John southeast, Mike in the northeast, Nicole north central, Sarah in New England, and Tom in the Midwest. Now we're going to move on to requirement 5, and this graph shows the dollar amount of each insurance type. So here we see all the insurance types listed below per region, which are up here. And we can see that the most expensive, or the insurance type that made the most money, is, they're called professional. And that is pretty clear across each region. And the lowest is this orange one right here called life insurance. And now lastly, we're going to move on to requirement 6, which shows sales by state. And clearly you can see, up here it says that the higher the sale, the darker color the state is. So we can clearly see that this region up here, the Northeast, is making the most amount of money. And that's also explained in requirement 3, where here it also says that the Northeast makes the most money, and that is also seen in this graph here. Now I made a couple observations. In requirement 2A, or 2AB, and requirement 2C, the highest amount of sales are the states match pretty closely: New Jersey, New York, DC, and we see similar states at the very top here as well, which would make sense because these states are also the ones in requirement 6 that are the darkest regions. They're making the most money. However, in 2D, we see that the states differ for the amount of sales sold. It shows that a bunch of different states from different areas are making more sales than Northeast states. And this just explains that Northeastern states have higher insurance prices. And this can also be explained or proven in requirement 5, because in the Northeast it says that these insurance types are making the most money in this region as well, across the board. See, the orange line is higher in the Northeast and all the others, as well as the blue, pink, light blue, and green. They're all higher in the Northeast than in any other region. Those are my observations, and thank you for listening.